9 p.m. on Monday, January 12th, I hereby call this meeting of the Hope Cemetery Commission to order. Can we have a roll call for attendance, please?
Yes, Matthew Kerwitz,
I am here.
John Didi, Christopher Fosha,
Yeah?
Andrew Lizot.
I am here.
Oh, he's on. Okay. Okay. And Fatima Idris is here? No? Okay. All right.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman.
Go for it.
The cell phone number that's online, if you can tell us who you are, please?
That was actually Andrew as well. I'm gonna hang up with that one. I just didn't think that you guys remembered to connect me. I sent an email out earlier, but I'm gonna hang up with that now.
All right, so okay. Thank you.
Andrew Lazard.
Is now exiting.
We're good.
Okay. Next on the agenda is the acceptance of minutes. Did everyone have a chance to read the minutes? Do we have any edits or any issues with the minutes?
Move to accept the minutes.
I hear a movement to accept the minutes. Do I hear a second?
Andrew seconds.
All right, can we have a roll call, please?
Okay. So we have Matthew Kerwitz,
Yes.
Chris Fosha,
Yes.
Andrew Lizot,
Yes.
okay, John Didi, and Fatima Idris. Yep, I just go through all of them.
All right. Next up would be the commissioner's report. I will turn it over to you, Mr. Commissioner.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Just a quick update on our capital. We just submitted about $45,000 or so in capital equipment for Hope Cemetery that will get delivered probably by March or April of this year. It just entails some mowers and a couple of blowers for our operation down there. There's still a dump truck that's on order. We anticipate we'll have that this spring as well. And then everything else has been already ordered and received. So we did burial equipment. We had a new garbage packer or garbage truck that we had come in. So all of that has already been received and in operation as we speak. The other item on capital is give you an update on the sort of barn area, maintenance area, we'll call it. So finalized all of the items with our consultant, LPA. Just waiting on the final documentation to go through. I anticipate that we'll have that done in the next week or so. And then once that's completed, we'll start our internal review and sort of development with LPA. And then that will then come back to this board at some point this spring for that. I will be including funding in our capital budget for this coming year for some maintenance work, for some maintenance stuff down there in that area. So I think we've discussed this before, right? There's going to be a short-term, medium-term, and long-term design of how this sort of gets implemented and how we sort of go through this process. The long-term is really the barn, what happens with the barn. The short-term is more so we need a building of some type, and so we'll work on that piece of it. And then the median is what do we end up doing? How do we sort of re-look at that existing staff building that's there? And so it's a big project down there, and we're just gonna have to work through it all. And then as we move forward, we'll keep the commission abreast of that.
Excellent.
And then the last item is the RFP for the software.
Yeah.
So Bill Richards and Bill and Stephanie have been meeting regularly to get that built out. I've looked at it. We've had purchasing look at it. And then this week it will go to Tech Services and Law Department for review. So we anticipate by the end of the month we'll be out with an RFP for the software program. So we'll have more information for you at the next meeting.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, that's all I have, unless there's any questions.
Do we have any questions for the commissioner? Hearing none, we can move on to old business. We only have one item on old business, a request from Commissioner Faucher for an update on the cemetery computer systems RFP, which I believe you just covered.
Did that.
So I guess we can,
So, Mr. Chairman, I would recommend, if you're okay with it, to file this item, since in my report, I will keep the capital improvement update as part of my report every month. So I think we can eliminate that from that, and that software project will be part of my discussion.
okay, I'm fine with that. That's your item.
Yep, move to file.
I will second, or do I hear a second, I should say?
Andrew, good second?
All right, thank you. Can we have a roll call, please?
Okay, Christopher Faucher,
Yes.
Andrew Lizotte,
Yep.
Matthew Kerwin.
Yes.
Okay,
All right, the motion is approved. Next, we have new business. A, review and approval for the fees for 2026. I will turn it back over to you, Mr. Commissioner.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Attached in your package are revised 2026 recommendations for fees. So in there, you'll see there's a green line, which is our current costs. There's a yellow line, which is the proposed, and then the difference on the far right in sort of an orange. Anywhere where we're not making changes to those fees has an NA next to it, or no change, depending on which document you're looking at on that. And so we've also given you what the current numbers are for All Faiths, St. John's, and Notre Dame. There's another document here that I'm assuming the commissioner has, Commissioner Faucher has given us as well, that sort of lays out some of that as well. So we'd be happy to talk about if there's any questions. One of the items that is of particular interest on the city side is the weekend cost. So one of the problems, or not one of the problems, one of the items that we need to make sure we're covering on a weekend is our overtime costs. We are a municipal cemetery, and our staff are union, and so we are required to pay them a minimum of 4 hours for any shift that they come in. And so when it comes to burials, we need to make sure that we're covering that cost for the staff that are coming in. So we've made some adjustments when you look into the interment fees to make sure that we're covering that. And those fees, the interment fees have not been changed. It says it on the bottom of your document since 2023. And your lot fees have not been changed since 2022. So I'd be happy to take any questions that you may have or any comments that you may have.
Commissioner Faucher, do you have any questions?
Through the chair. I appreciate the spreadsheet. The St. John's and Notre Dame, they go together, the diocesan cemetery, so they're both the same numbers. All Faiths, and then what I passed out was Worcester County Memorial Park and Paxton. My concern, I mean, I understand we have to cover overtime, I understand that there's a minimum when we call somebody in on a Saturday. Has there ever been any consideration of staggering schedules? You got Monday off, you're working Saturday.
So, through the chair, we have discussed that, but with the number of staff that we have and the use of vacation time, sick time, everything else, it's really not possible, right? So a regular burial crew is 3 people. So it's not like I'm manipulating one person, I'm manipulating 3.
Right.
And so where we do have that flexibility to be able to do it. Functionally, it just doesn't work on our end of it based on all of the work that we end up having to get accomplished and then the needs on a Saturday as well for the burial. So we, again, we looked at it. We used to have it in parks as well, and we had a staggered shift in where, we'd have 4 or 5 people would come in on a Saturday and not work, one day during the week. We do that now with our trash pickup. So when we run our trash pickups in parks, we do have that kind of schedule, but it's a single person,
Right.
right? It's not 3 or 4 people. So right now, we have 1 foreman, we have 2 working foremen, and we have 7 staff. Of that 7 staff, we only have 6. So now to really do that, right, you're halving it,
Right.
right, to be able to cover that. And it gets difficult during the regular work week when we may have 3 burials in a day.
Right, and you're missing 3.
And you're and that. So it's much easier. So a lot of times what we'll end up doing, because we know by Friday afternoon, by Friday at noontime, if we're gonna have a burial on Saturday. We don't do burials on Sunday, so, but on Saturday. And if we were to cut back staff and Saturday was that day, or Friday was that day, or whatever it may be, it can get dicey when all of a sudden we realize we're gonna have 2 burials on a Friday, and then we have 2 more or 3 more on a Saturday. Trying to get all of that stuff done within that time frame just becomes difficult.
Just another question through the chair. As a rule, we usually have burials scheduled on Saturday? Usually every Saturday we got something?
Not,
every Saturday,
yeah,
no. But we can get probably 3 to 4 a month guaranteed.
Okay,
Whether it's a full burial and there's a cremation also that's
Right.
scheduled, or it's 2 burials on a Saturday. But the thing is if we have so many booked on Friday, even though we know we're having Saturday burials, we still have to complete our Friday ones. So
Right.
that takes our staffing away to prepare for Saturday.
right.
So that's the only thing. And in the winter, it's hard because sometimes we're not using our so-called normal equipment. We have to get the jackhammers out and everything else because of the ground issues.
Right, defrost.
So,
and I think through the chair, the other item on that ends up being, when Stephanie says you may get 3 or 4, that's not 1 per day.
Right.
1 per Saturday. That could be 2 on a Saturday, and then you may have,
Nothing.
another one on a Saturday, but then 2 weekends, you're not gonna have anything.
Right.
Right, so it's very hit or miss, to be very honest, but, I think, and Steph, if I'm wrong, tell me, but I think a lot of people just because of it, they sort of shine into that Monday through Friday timeframe, unless it's something where people have to come from far away and they want to use the weekend, as that, for the purpose of people who are flying in or have long drives or whatever else to come for the services.
My question would be, when would you expect to implement these fees?
We would look to implement them immediately.
Okay.
So it would just be, we wouldn't do anything, we wouldn't do we wouldn't do it anything previous to the
Yeah,
date
yeah,
that we
yeah.
do it. So we would set a date, probably, if you approve it, we'll probably set it for next Tuesday, or we gotta get the word out there too, so maybe February 1st.
it'll either be mid-February or end of February by the time they get their mailings, because now mail is so slow. Even if I certify it, sometimes it takes a full week, 7 to 10 days, and for them to look and see what the pricing is and everything else.
So that would be the plan.
Just kind of dovetail on that, through the chair. We spoke in earlier meetings about getting the green burial out to the funeral directors. Has anything been put together to go out in that mailing?
So on our end, no. We've been working with the school over here to help develop a flyer for that.
Okay,
But that has not been done yet, as of right now, so we're still working with them. I have a meeting with them coming up in the next couple of weeks, on that, but no, we have not sent that out in that fashion as of
Yeah,
yet.
'cause, I mean, save us postage on a separate mailing, right?
Right.
Every little bit. I just have a couple more there.
Keep going. So you.
I'm looking at the cremation on Saturdays and holidays, and that's going up about 20%. And as far as the adults on Saturday, Sunday, at 19, yeah, right in the same ballpark. We think that's gonna cover expenses? Or relatively cover expenses?
For the cremation just the
For the
cremation itself?
cremation and for the burial on Saturday, is this
Yes,
increase gonna
Yes.
cover?
Yes.
it's gonna cover
And
that.
is that looking ahead to the next contract as well?
It looks ahead through this so the current contract with our union at 495 is up as of June 30th. So it anticipates that we'll be able to cover anything that would come out of that next contract. Figuring it's somewhere in that, just say a 3 to 5% increase, we would cover that for at least that year, for at least that next year. Ideally, our numbers will cover us for 2 years right now, but we don't know that yet because we don't know what the next contract will hold for us on that end.
I mean, the other concern with the increase, I understand the reason for it, but I'm looking at comparing that to the other cemeteries, you know, we're $500 more, 600, $700 more.
So the numbers that we have here are 2025 numbers. So the cemeteries have not made their change yet for 2026.
Okay,
So we anticipate that all three of those cemeteries will make their change for 2026.
I thought he already had the 2026 numbers up in the diocese, no?
Not when we were putting this together, right, Steph?
No.
Okay.
And we didn't, and this does not include where we didn't do the increase when the contract for the union had already done the increase for the salaries. So that's how we're kind of balancing it out
Right,
in one sense. So some of it's backtracking, but some of it's being
right.
advanced too.
I mean, we
So-
certainly, we don't want to lose money by any stretch of the imagination,
So,
but by the same token, we don't want to lose burials either in plot and lot sales.
I don't anticipate on losing.
Okay, okay. I mean, if the numbers hold, if they go up, whatever, 18%, you know, because we were actually lower than the diocese and lower than All Faiths on Saturdays, right? We were cheaper.
Correct.
Yeah, we usually try to be nearest the bottom.
Well,
My question, I know I ask this every time we get this, and it never sticks in my brain, but what's the rationale for, or like, is there a formula that you follow for the increasing the lot sales prices, or is it just, I don't know, more kind of looking at it and just ballparking?
But
So what we did is if you go through the lot sales of what we're increasing to.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at like a single gray flat marker, and then you go to a 2 gray flat marker, it's basically just doubling the cost because you're getting 2 spots. Now a single grave, upright stone, sorry, I didn't bring my glasses.
I feel your pain.
So single grade monument, again, it's where you're allowed to place a monument, so we increased there, but if you look where we do a 2 grade monument, it's basically the double of that, because
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
allowed 2 spots.
No, I understand that, but my
So-
question's more like, single gray flat marker, we're increasing the cost by $250. Okay, why $250? Why not 300 or 150? That's kind of the question.
So, through the chair, what we're trying to do is benchmark the other cemeteries that are in and around us, right? Because we don't want to be too far out of the game. But at the same time, we know that their numbers are 2025 numbers. And so the math is just 1 is 1, 2 is
Yeah, no, I get
1
that one.
plus 1, right? And that piece of it. But the number really comes in regards to, what we think and where it all sort of plays out as being, giving us the availability to be competitive at the same time, making sure that the cemetery is, bringing in revenue. And the fact that we haven't changed our fees since 2022 on the lot sales in 2023 on the
That's my
interment,
Next question.
that's what the issues are.
So I remember we used to do this every year or two, and everything's been weird the last couple of years. Do you have like in the calendar for next year to look at lot sales? Is it an annual thing that you guys look at?
So the plan is going to be every year in the fall.
Okay.
I think this fall got away from at least
Yeah.
me a little bit, and that's why it's coming to you now. And also the fact that I'm looking budget-wise and seeing that when we have a Saturday burial, we're not making enough money to cover the burial costs, which is a problem. So I think for us, it's more about doing this in the fall, so that every fall we're looking at both of these fees, whether we decide to make a change or we don't, or we recommend a change or we don't, we'll be looking at it every fall. So the idea for me is October, we would look at it, we'd bring it in with any recommendations. We can either approve it then or not. We can hold it till November, but by December, everything's there so that we can then get our paperwork out for a true January 1 start.
I like that. He has more questions.
I went through just through the chair, just for a little clarification. What's the difference in price between section 108 and 82C?
So 108A is your single, are you looking flat marker?
Yep.
Okay, so that is more in location-wise than the other one. The single flat marker, the 1500, that is on the backside of the cemetery, near the expressway. The other one is 108A, where we specifically are closer to the main gate, so it's more of a location issue, and where we design, where we can accommodate people to be closer to other family members, because sometimes we had some family members that were 3, and we didn't have 3 grave lots there.
Okay, so that's
Okay,
like
so-
behind the office, right?
That's right when you come in the main gate to your left.
Okay.
108A.
Ball
Okay,
field.
okay, with the trees, yeah.
Yes, okay. And then if you look at 82C, the 2250, those lots are more expensive, and the fact that those are larger in size to accommodate the special green burial vaults.
Okay. Do we have any other questions? Yes, sir. To the mic stand, please. Make sure you identify your name and street address, please.
Sure, absolutely. Greg Degavation.
Yeah. Like we did.
I'm a lifelong resident here in the city. My understanding would be that the basic burial at Hope would be, right now, currently, 1,400 plus the vault, is that
Vault
correct?
installation,
Right, so that would be 1,900?
correct.
Okay. Following up on Commissioner Faucher, I haven't seen the numbers for Worcester County Memorial. And obviously cemetery is a little bit different, that people who get buried are gonna be buried to where they live or where they, communities. But how does Hope compare to other similar type municipal cemeteries?
Are you talking like cities like Marlborough and Leominster, Fitchburg?
We could go
Or
that, we
or
could go
the
that way,
town.
we could go the towns, we could even go, say, like size municipal, Springfield, or even like Worcester County, how do we compare, are they, just are they kind of like in line, do we ever look at those, or?
Let's turn that over
So-
to.
So with
Yeah.
Worcester County Memorial, I'll give you a copy of this.
Okay, thank you.
So even, it says traditional burial and it has a price. But then what happens is they do also a breakdown of their separate fees. Well, we put it as one price. We don't go, the setup is a separate fee, the paperwork is a separate fee. We don't do that. If you go to Notre Dame, they do that also. Where
Okay.
you're paying an extra $100 or an extra $75, and then you add everything up.
Yeah,
So everything's separate. We don't. We put it all in one pricing. So I haven't had a chance to review Worcester County Memorial.
okay.
At one time, they were much higher than us, so I have to look at their breakdown.
And who manages Worcester County Memorial?
That I do not know.
Okay,
It's a
That's a
a private cemetery, but I don't know who the individual
company.
person.
it is a private
group.
cemetery?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and the other question I have is in terms of lot burials and grave sites. How is it, are there any changes in the trends, say like in the last 3 to 5 years that, you know, this report here, which is great, but is it any noticeable change in the trend from three previous years, or?
Are you talking trends like types of burials or amounts of burials?
The number, just even something like the number and the revenue, and are we seeing any real big changes? I don't need anything exact, just, you know,
Excuse me.
So we break it down into like subcategories, if you look through your packet, where it's called the productivity report.
Mm-hmm.
Which the commission will probably go over that in a few
okay,
minutes.
I'll wait then.
So that'll give you the breakdown of lot sales and how many
Okay.
burials we do per month and then per year.
Okay. The question really is, are we seeing, you know, changes in the number of burials, a number of lot sales that would raise a red flag into any macro changes that are going on? And
In the cemetery, right now, we are selling a lot of the single graves where you can place a monument. That is very popular with us right now.
okay,
So it's a single grave where you can place a smaller stone. It's a section 118 right now. They're all uniformed, all the same size. The families can choose the design they want for their monument. It is very popular in the sense where we have people that each individual wants their own monument now. Instead of buying like a family lot and having a large monument,
every individual wants their own.
they want their own monument. Instead of having a flat marker in a family lot,
Yeah,
they want their own monument.
interesting. And these monuments are much,
Shorter, they're approximately 2.5 feet high.
yeah,
The base is 2 feet, and the base is 1 foot wide.
okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I don't know if this was part of your question, but like, it seemed like part of it was like, you know, the overall trends, and through my 20-plus years here, like, we're averaging, give or take, the same amount of burials every year, even during COVID. We didn't have, like, too much of a spike during COVID, I don't think.
There was a spike in
There was a
COVID,
spike,
All right,
yes.
I'm wrong.
Yes,
but,
there's a spike.
but we're relatively consistent across the board with all of our, numbers and all of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I think lot sales are down a little bit though, right? I think burials are kind of
Right.
holding their own, but I think the lot sales.
Well, the lot sales, it's because now we're getting into the families that have bought their lots previously and years back.
Right.
Now, not to be morbid, but they're being filled up now with those members,
Yeah.
so.
So I mean, I think that's gonna be a concern going forward, is the lot sales.
Yeah. I have one last question. What do we do if someone wants to do a mausoleum? I ask because I want to do a mausoleum.
I haven't dealt with any questions as of for the past 5 years.
When I have enough money, we'll talk.
Yep.
All right. Is that everything for discussion on 6A, review?
Actually,
Yes?
I may have.
You have more? Full of beads
I may
today.
have one more. I just had it and then it just jumped out of my head and I can't remember what it was now. Never mind.
All right, well, if it
Carry
comes
on.
back,
Carry on.
all right. Did you want a vote for the?
Mr. Chairman, yes, we'd like
Yes.
a vote of either approve or not approve.
Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the new lot fees for 2026?
Motion approved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a second here. We have a roll call.
Okay, so we have Andrew Lizot,
Yes.
Christopher Fosha,
Yes.
and Matthew Kerwin.
Yes. I thought you might have gone no on that one.
I was thinking about it.
Yeah. All right, moving on. 6B, December 2025 Productivity Report. I'll return it back over to you, Mr. Commissioner.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. So attached is your latest update. So there's an item on here that is lot sales, and then item up here is number of burials. And so it sort of gives you that year-to-date setup. What I will do is, we're working through some of this historical data now, trying to put it into a similar format so that
That's cool.
we can see this differently. And so what we'll do is, once we get that all worked out, we'll submit that to the commission as well, so you get a better idea of sort of what's happening on each month, for maybe the last 2 years or something like
Yeah,
that. So we're working through that right now.
excellent. Do we have any questions for the December 2025 Productivity
Of
Report?
course I do.
Of course you do. Go for it.
Through the chair, looking at the productivity report, I think it's the first page.
Which is the number of burials?
Yeah, it must be. On the back side of that, it's showing, section 82C internment fees. The bottom half of that chart, is that also 82C? Know
Where are we looking?
what I mean?
Where are you?
Oh, okay.
So
Always ahead.
through the chair to the commissioner.
Yeah.
That is part of the fee portion of this,
Okay.
not the productivity side of it.
But this is, I'm assuming that this chart is just showing us,
82C.
right, how well 82Cs,
Nope,
no?
nope, this sheet right here, correct?
Yep.
This one? Okay.
Yep, this is
The
just the
blue.
fees of what the proposal was for for fees for 82C.
So that's from the
Because-
left.
Because
Item.
82C is a larger
Right.
area, that's just identifying this and having this as
Okay.
it's a separate document, but it's part of the regular fee structure. But we wanted to separate it so that, because we charge more for that lot, we wanted to make sure you understood what that whole area that we developed over there, what that looks like for fee charges for that purpose.
Do we have a total on how much sales we have there?
That would probably be in section C, I'm
Knowing
assuming.
that, just in
I
that
don't-
particular section. No?
Oh, in
I
that
don't have,
section?
we do not have the breakdown of that specific
Still
section.
have plenty though, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Plenty. It's wide open.
Oh, I'm sorry, through the chair, I remember my question now.
So this is back on 6A.
Do we ever give any
6A.
thought to, I know we talked about it, non-residents, to increase in fee for non-residents?
We have discussed that over the years.
So we have discussed that, and we have not implemented anything along those lines as of yet. Just because we rely on others outside of the cemetery as well. The only area that we are very strict on resident versus non-resident is on our government-funded, Steph, can you?
Our assisted burials,
Assisted
Yeah.
burials.
okay?
Can you you're covering the microphone.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
The assisted burials and then also the children's garden.
Correct.
Okay,
So they have, for assisted burials, they have to be a Worcester resident. And for assisted burials, I mean, for the children's garden, they have to also be, the parents have to, one of them has to be a Worcester resident.
Okay.
Okay?
So those are the only two things that we, you know, that we have a discount or a different fee for.
I just happened to notice Auburn, if a non-resident goes into the Auburn Cemetery, Hillside Cemetery in Auburn, it's 3 times the cost.
Yeah, the
of
reason
Auburn
why, and correct me if my memory's wrong, but why we decided, every time it comes up, why we decided not to do this, a lot of people spend their whole lives here, I don't know, go to Florida, retire for a year, they
get
won't
it.
be buried here, and,
I got it.
And we continue to have that problem with the, you know, the government-funded components, right? Where, you know, family's been here for 2 generations, you know, the parent moves in with their child who lives in Grafton or lives someplace else but wants to be buried here, and now we're charging, you know, you know, they don't have any money, right? And now we're charging them you know, that rate. So we don't allow that. They have to go to Grafton to get buried unless they want to go through the full price on our end. So we have had that issue, but we don't get a lot of requests for anything along those lines though either. So things have been relatively, you know, good on that end of it.
Okay. All right, very good.
And I don't know,
Andrew?
through the chair, would this be something that they should potentially be proactive with and prepay before they move to somewhere else if they know that they're gonna want to be buried in Worcester? Like that's something that I've recently looked into a lot, and I'm
yeah, you can
researching.
buy a lot before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
And
So-
right now, it doesn't really matter because we don't have a
Right.
alternating cost. But if we were to go down that road, then yes, and then we would end up having to have, you know, an alternating cost for that, and then it would be more beneficial for someone, if that's where they want to be buried, to buy it ahead of time. But when you look at this, St. John's, Notre Dame, and All Faiths don't have that either,
Right.
right? Because they're not sort of municipal based. So it would really change the dynamic maybe a little bit on that world if we're worried about bringing in more revenue and being able to, you know, continue to be competitive in that world. A fee with that could be detrimental to that side of it unless we set a non-resident rate and you have to prove that you're a resident and then you get a discount. That may be the way to do that.
Trying to lock in for a resident and then that you're locking in, and I found that locking in seems to be a really good benefit in some ways.
Yes.
Obviously, we're seeing there's other downturns to it. But,
Yep.
yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you. Okay, do you have any more discussion on section 6B? Oh,
Again, my name is Greg Decavation from Worcester. What is a government marker? Is that a military service or
Correct. That's a
Okay.
veteran marker.
It's a veteran marker.
a veteran marker?
So it's the federal government sends those to us, they're bronze, and then we put them into a foundation and place them, usually at the foot, but sometimes it goes on the, you know, at the head, depending on the layout of the monument, of the burial site.
Okay. In lieu of a monument or just that's extra?
Depends on where it is and what it is.
Okay. Which is it after the Veterans Administration or?
Steph?
You go to the Veteran Affairs on the internet, or
Okay.
you can get a form from a funeral director,
Okay,
but you can print it out, and we allow either a flat granite marker or a bronze flat marker.
great.
That's what we allow.
Thank you very much.
thank you. Okay, any other questions on 6B, December 2025 productivity report?
Mr. Chairman, I'd recommend file that item. And
All
then
right.
we'll continue to bring it back
Yep, very helpful.
as we get
Okay.
through, whether it's monthly or quarterly, but we'll continue to bring those through.
Okay, would we like a roll call to file, or a motion to file it? Do I hear a motion?
Motion to file the
6B, December 2025 productivity report. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, can we have a roll
Second.
call, please?
Okay, Christopher Foger,
yes.
Andrew Lizotte,
Yes.
and Matthew Kerwin.
Yes. All right, moving on, December 2025 revenue report. Mr. Commissioner, back at you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So on your attached paperwork is sort of the fiscal year 2025 calendar or information based on revenue that's been brought in. So again, we're working towards this functionality where we'll show 2 other years, but we're not fully there yet on the build out of that with all of the other work that our cemetery staff need to do down there. But we are working through that right now, and then trying to get some other stuff caught back up where we're a little behind on that. So, so pretty much it gives you sort of the breakdowns of, you know, where our money's coming in, gives you it by month, and this gives you through November. In December, we didn't have yet, so December won't get, you know, finalized until later this month, so it would come up afterwards.
Okay.
So this is the current as we see it right now, in that world.
Okay. Any questions? I hear one coming out of your mouth.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Through the chair, we're not listing Saturday burials or separating Saturday burials from adult opening
Good eye.
Steph?
or cremation.
I'm not looking at it, hold on.
So usually what ends up happening is a Saturday burial
Yeah.
is divided into 2 pieces. So 1 is the burial cost, and then 2 is the overtime cost. So we usually separate those 2 functions so that, because they technically go into 2 different accounts.
Okay, but as far as this form goes, Saturday burials would just fall into either adult opening or infant opening, right?
Correct.
Correct.
Yep. So that ends up being because it goes into 2 separate accounts, the way the financial system works, we're pulling from 2 different accounts. And so we identify it in those worlds. And so that's why it only shows up, and we don't have Saturday on there. That shows another revenue source, because that amount is being separated, yes.
Right. Even though it's more than the standard.
Correct, but it's divided.
Right,
So
divided
the
into-
standard
right.
is X. That goes into the burial side, and then the Y, which is our overtime costs, go into overtime.
side,
So
right.
here's the concept really ends up being that we are not given a budget in our world to cover the cost of a burial on a Saturday, okay? So City of Worcester does not give us money for that. The overtime that we have in our budget, that's allocated in our budget, is for work that's required of us to be done. Memorial Day, storm cleanup, snow removal, all of the general maintenance stuff, not the burial of an individual on a Saturday. And so for us, we need to recoup all of that cost, or else what happens is as we don't recoup that, we start losing hours on our general maintenance function that we need to do for Memorial Day, snow removal, cleanup, that kind of stuff. And so because of that, we separate those 2 pieces out.
Okay. Only one question.
Nope, that was it.
Wow. You're running out of steam. Do we have any other questions on section 6C, December 2025 revenue report? Do you recommend us to file this one as well, Mr. Commissioner?
Yes, and we'll bring again, as we build this out, we'll start bringing this, whether it's quarterly or every month, depending on how quickly we can get it done. So we'll plan to continue bringing that regularly.
Okay, do I hear a motion to file the December 2025 revenue report?
Motion to file revenue report.
Motion to file.
Okay, I will take that as a
Second.
second. Thank you. Can we have a roll call, please?
Christopher Fosha,
Yes.
Andrew Liza,
Yes.
and Matthew Kerwin.
Yes. Okay, and before ending, am I allowed to take this moment? I thought I sent an email to put it onto the agenda back on a standing thing. The condition of hope, we used to have that as a standing agenda item. Can we do that again, or do you need me to send you a separate
No,
email?
I'll add it on for,
All right.
I'll add it as new business, and
Yeah,
I'll add it as new business, and then
Perfect.
you can keep it on as old business after the fact.
that's, works, yeah. 'cause you-
Commissioner, I think it was Commissioner's report before, right?
Yeah, well, no, the condition of hope, because I remember like a couple months ago, you had a whole bunch about individual conditions.
Yep.
And then that way, we could just keep it as one and keep it in our brains in case something else is happening. Okay, thank you
Is there
very
a way-
much.
Is there a way we could group condition of hope with security concerns of hope, or security of hope?
Be two separate
Or
things.
should I bring that up as a separate topic next month?
The commissioner said that'd be two separate things. Do you want to add it on for new business
Right.
as next month?
Perfect.
Yeah?
Yes, will do.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
please. Will do.
I hope there haven't been problems. Okay. We're now at the end of our agenda. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Do I hear a second?
You have a second?
All right, thank you. Can we have a roll call, please?
Christopher Fosha,
Yes.
Andrew Lazat,
Yes.
and Andrew Kurwitz.
And yes, okay, so at 4:55 PM on Monday, January 12th, I hereby call this meeting of the Hope Cemetery Commission to a close.